Hello students, let us start with the next lecture from the structure of atom, that is Pauli's exclusion principle. So this principle says that no two electrons in an atom can have the same set of four quantum numbers. So we have studied about this four types of quantum numbers: principal, isometric, magnetic and spin quantum number. So out of these four, one should be different. Means all the four quantum numbers cannot be same for the two electrons in an atom. Or it can be put in other way also. Only two electrons can occupy the same orbital and they must have opposite spins. Okay. So this can be further explained by taking example, a simple example like that. Helium with atomic number 2 where Z equals to 2. So you can write the electronic configuration as 1s2 and this is the another way you can write the electronic configuration in the box diagram. So the first electron, this electron, I am talking about this electron, this first electron, it will have n equal to 1. Since this is 1s2 orbital, so n will be equal to 1. As this is s orbital, so L will be equal to 0. Then magnetic quantum number, again it would be 0. And this electron, it is with the parallel spin, so you can write spin quantum number equals to plus half. Now for the second electron, so this one, this second electron with the antiparallel spin. So for this second electron, you can write the different quantum numbers as n equal to 1. It would be the same as the first one. L will be equal to 0 as the, it is again the same as for the first electron. Ml, this is also a same magnetic quantum number because this is s orbital and it is not further divided into any suborbital. Okay. Now only there will be difference in this spin quantum number. So this is with the antiparallel spin. So you can write this spin quantum number as minus half. So the meaning of this statement, that is no two electrons in an atom can have the same set of four quantum numbers. So you can see here, though these three quantum numbers are same for both the electrons, but these two are different one. Okay, so this is about the Pauli's exclusion principle. Now we'll proceed further with the Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Next thing we'll write here, Hund's rule. Some people pronounce it as a Hans also, but I guess this is the German word, so it should be pronounced as Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Maximum multiplicity. Okay, so this, the statement for this is that pairing of electrons in the orbitals, pairing of electrons in the orbitals belonging to the same subshell, means those electrons which belong to the same subshell does not occur unless each orbital belonging to that subshell has got one electron each. Okay, so I'll read out this again. Pairing of electrons means while writing the electronic configuration, how will you pair the electrons? So while pairing of electrons in the orbitals belonging to the same subshell, means if this is the p subshell which has got three orbitals like px, py, and pz. So while filling up these orbitals, so this does not occur, pairing of electron, it would not occur unless each orbital belonging to that subshell has got one electron each. Okay, so this can be better understood with examples. Like if you got the three electrons like this, three px, py, and pz, like these are the three different subshell or orbitals. So how will you fill up this? First will go to this. The second electron would not pair up here. It will go to the next, and then they will start pairing up. Okay. So this is for the three electrons. Now when you are supposed to write the electronic configuration for the atom with atomic number equal to 4. I would not name the atom, just I'll write the number of electrons only. So these 4 electrons, this can be written this way, 1, 2, 3, and then the pairing starts. Okay. Now if there are 5 electrons, if this is for 5 electrons, if there are the 5 electrons, this is the first electron, second electron, third electron, then the pairing starts, fourth and the fifth one. Then if there are 6 electrons in an atom, so those can be put or accommodated this way, 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth, fifth, and the sixth. So this is true for the same subshell. Okay. Once this subshell is filled, then you can proceed further for the next subshell. Remember. Okay. So this is the Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Now we'll try to write the electronic configurations by taking some simple examples like fluorine with atomic number 9. So you can write the electronic configuration as 1s2, 2s2, then there will be 2p5, isn't it? Now for this one, this is the orbital. In this way, if you write this way, this is called orbital notation. And same thing you can write in a box diagram like this, 1s2, 2s2, and then 2p5. As you all know, there are 3 orbitals, px, py, and pz. So this can be filled up this way, 3, 4, and the fifth one. Means it has got one unpaired electron here. And this is called as the orbital diagram. This is orbital diagram. Okay. Now, there are 2 exceptions for writing the electronic configuration for chromium and copper. So this chromium is with the atomic number 24 and copper with the atomic number 29. Okay. So the expected electronic configuration first we'll write this way, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, then 3p6, and then comes 4s2 and 3d4. So this is the expected configuration. It should be like this. But the actual configuration, it was found as 1s2, 2s2, 2s2, 2p6, then 3s2, then 3p6, and one of the electrons from this 4s2 orbital, it jumps from here to here, and it will be left with one electron only, that is 4s1, and then this will be 3d5. So this is the observed electronic configuration for chromium. And so why is this happening? This is just to get the more stable electronic configuration. Now remember, each and every atom will try to be stable. So if the maximum capacity of this d orbital, it is 10. So when it is half filled, it would be more stable than this. It is with the 3d4. Okay, means this d orbital, as you all know, it has got five suborbitals of this D subshell has got 5 orbitals. So this can be put this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So in this way, this will be the half filled. Total capacity is 10. So there are 5 electrons. So that will be with the same spin. So the spin of the electrons, all the electrons accommodated here, they have got the parallel spin. So those will be more stable configuration. So to attain the stable configuration, this change is occurring here or happening here. Same is the case with the copper also. So you can write the electronic configuration for copper with 29. This is 1s2, 2s2, then 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, then 4s2 and 3d9. Now when one of the electrons from here it is shifted to this will be this d orbital would be a completely filled. So when it is completely filled, it would be more stable. So this up till here it would remain same. So I'll write only this one, that is 4s1 and 3d10. So this will be the same here up till here. Now in this way, this is the expected one configuration of copper, and this is the observed configuration, which is a more stable one. So in this way, this is the way you can write the electronic configuration for different elements or the atoms here. Now, you should be able to write the electronic configuration of each and every element starting from atomic number 1 to atomic number 30 up to the zinc atom, okay, or element. Now the next, that is isoelectronic species. Sorry, isoelectronic species. So what is this isoelectronic species? So these are the atoms and ions. It can be ions also. Atoms and ions having same number of electrons are isoelectrons. Iso means same. So those which are having same number of electrons, those are called as isoelectronic species. So for example, if you take for example, that is 18 K plus. Actually, this potassium has got atomic number equal to 9. So when it becomes, by losing one electron, there will be development of one positive charge on this potassium, and one less electron is there. So instead of 19, it would be now 18 because there is one positive charge here. So this is isoelectronic with argon, which is atomic, which has got atomic number 18, or it is also isoelectronic with calcium with atomic number now 18. Actually, calcium its atomic number is 20, but when it loses 2 electrons, there will be 2 positive charges here. Now, I hope you know, whenever there is a loss of electron, there is a development of a charge on this, because the electron is lost from here. And whenever there is a gain of electron, there is a development of negative charge. So this negative sign indicates the presence of extra electron here. And this positive sign indicates that the electron is lost from the atom or the element here. So this is about the structure of atom. In the next lecture, we will start with the next, that is basic concept chapter. Thank you.